So, what do we do now?
I remember what he's looking for. He's still trying to find the Ruzavan.
He needs the Necronomicon. He's trying to use the Stella to awaken Zamindor.
Don't say that name.
Why is it prohibited? It is the foundation of all of our research.
Not to pivot from whatever he's trying to do. But you all hear that voice too, right?
Wake up.
Save me.
The fourth chapter of our adventure opens as many episodes than the past have. What was the vast majority of the waking memory of some of our party. On board the deck of a small barge, making its way down the Selin River, headed for Cassomir. On board this ship are 4 figures. And unbeknownst to them, not far ahead, a 5th. Let's introduce our adventuring party for this new chapter. We've got new faces. It's a lot has changed since the beginning of chapter 3.
I'm Marcus. I play Marius Greyfall, the Ghoul Dwarf Ranger.
Hello, my name is Bryn. I'm going to be here. I'm just starting out. I'm super excited, and you can find out my character once we start going.
Nice. I'm Colby. I play MD, the full-blooded orc rogue, our large, covered in scars, man of the hour. Every hour.
I'm Sully, and I play Adelmay, the itty-bitty gnomish witch, who's got a lot more thoughts in her head than she used to.
My name is Brett. I play Reginald Sagacious Fox. I'm a detective. Foxman detective thing. I have more rights than that.
This campaign started nearly 2 years ago. And here on the UGT show, we've had a lot before it. We've had Pathfinder, we've got Starfinder, we have all kinds of tabletop and adjacent content. And if you like what we're doing, if you like live play tabletops, and you want to help support us, the best thing you can do right now is click that follow or subscribe button down below the channel. Just by following us, you're telling the algorithm you like what you're seeing, and it helps us get shown to more people. We really, really appreciate every one of you being here. This barge has made its way to a somewhat brackish, fetid section of the river. It's not as pleasant as the green, beautiful vistas you've sailed past, the expansive flowering fields of Galt, the forests of Keonan. No, this is decidedly a swamp. And as the morning sun rises up towards its zenith, you see a city coming into view, towering at its edge. A mouth of rickety buildings like rotten teeth around a crammed harbor absolutely filled with vessels, most much larger than yours. You're reaching the main straits of the passage now, through Taldor, and not far beyond the opening into the inner sea itself. A great castle hangs over the bay, proudly flying the blue, green, and gold Taldan colors. Yet just beyond the dike that surrounds this city, swampland reaches outward. To the right side of it, even seeming to draw down some of its buildings into its morass. Standing by the railing of this small barge as you approach, watching this sight, grow ever closer. What you have spent months sailing towards are two very different figures. A massive, scarred orc and a small, bright little monk who now remember everything.
I think that it's been a good amount of time since it all went down.
Been about a week since the events of the Chapter 3 finale, since you recovered your memories and remembered a life that was never really yours.
In that time, I think that Cammie's been largely keeping to herself.
And Dee's been doing the same thing. He's been staying away from Cammie and pretty much everybody else that he's traveled with for most of the time. Only really coming back to the cabin of the boat to sleep, not saying much.
So when Cammie kind of approaches MD up on this railing as they approach the harbor, it's probably one of the first times that they've been like in each other's company sincerely since it all went down. We're almost there.
It's been a hell of a trip.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm a whole lot older than I thought I was. It's like a lot of years to sort of just instantly download.
That's fair. It's a lot of faces and names to remember.
Mm-hmm. Like Benji.
That old brickhead? Yeah.
I kind of thought I would be more excited. When we finally got everything back, and like I knew that he was dead, but I still couldn't remember him, and so now it's just like all of this to just sort of find out that you're just a widow. To like feel that instead of just knowing somewhere back in your head.
What's wild is, what's weird, is the memories I have from Brick, from myself. They're closed off emotionally, like everything else, and now I feel all of it at once. Grief, the guilt, everything I should have felt then, I feel now. Like with Benjamin. Those bricks I did, it was my idea. You know that.
I know.
Brick didn't feel much of anything. He cut himself off. He used this magic to do that with.
At that point, you hear a strange sound in your head. It sounds at first like gears clicking, mechanical, followed by a whirring noise and then static. TV static. It's not just the two of you that hear this. Reginald and Marius, wherever you are on the barge, you hear it as well. There's a broadcast almost into your mind of growing, overlapping voices you can't possibly make out until it finally coalesces into two words. Wake up! You're finally free, but to remain so, you must find me. Wake up! And then suddenly, as quickly as it began, this cacophony ends.
Did you hear that?
Wake up, you're finally free, but to remain so you must find me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was over.
Yeah.
Ahead of you, on the pier, there was another figure, an object too far away for any of you to make out from here. Bryn, you have watched the waves fall, the swamp roll, and the ships pass for weeks. Haven't moved, really. You've been moved. You were in the way. The brackish salt has started to crust around your feet. Moss has started to work its way up your legs. But you've had no particular reason to go anywhere. On a morning that doesn't look or feel any different than anything else, you suddenly start to feel something. The crystal embedded in your chest starts to warm up. You feel the energy start to go inside it, and you're not entirely sure why. Business around you on the docks is, as usual, it's busy. Shipwrights, porters, craftsmen running to and fro, tools in hand, the banging, the hammering, the daily work of dozens of ships moving throughout the ports, their goods going to dozens of warehouses. You're not sure why.
Can I see the ship coming in or anything? Just looking around. Anything that if I was interested in investigating.
Make me a perception check for investigating, and while you do that,
I miss playing with Bryn.
From Hypervol, 2 hero points.
Aww.
I feel bad for the 2 that missed out. Hero points for MD and Reginald.
Oh, yay!
Round out that hype train. Thank you, Hypervol.
Thanks for the pity.
Hey.
Pity points, thanks.
Pity high five.
Yeah.
Pity high five.
Okay.
What cards did you get?
I have
Monday
just
will
the
be good
thing.
enough. What?
I have just a thing.
That's a cute name.
But it's my birthday!
I guess so. Speaking of,
It's my birthday! Dude,
Right.
these are so
What's your birthday?
cute. Every single one of these is so fun.
yes, it was someone.
What was that usually do? That's still 2 perception.
Or that was 2%. That was it's all blends together.
I just
The one time we got to play together.
ago. Anyway,
I got I rolled a 7 for a total of 23. I'm exceptionally perceptive today.
23. As you're looking around the pier, there's small fishing boats and barges are moving in and out through the docks almost constantly, especially now when the morning crews are coming back in to unload their catch before the day gets too hot, the sun gets too high, the water's too fetid. You can't pick out anything that looks different. There's a couple little merchant barges, a couple fishing ships. Nothing stands out to you.
So basically, as people are looking around, what people see is this very tall, basically it looks like stone, but you can kind of tell it's not stone. It's kind of an interesting kind of textured, not quite metal, but not quite stone either. Almost looks like a golem standing there on the dock, and it's been perfectly still forever. It's holding a crystal.
I haven't seen JoJo.
So it's been totally still for weeks. No movement at all. As basically it turned into a statue. And now as this little light kind of starts glowing just a little bit of an embery red, the head of this object kind of tilts up to kind of just look around to see if anything has changed. She's been in kind of a stasis for so long that it ends up she's trying to kind of figure out what's around. And well,
and as soon as you say that, a porter walking by you immediately jumps in the door.
Don't be alarmed. It must be time for stretches. And so she goes.
Quickly gathers up his things and hurries away.
I go.
Nope. I don't see it.
Would you like to do some morning stretches?
I need my coffee. I need my coffee. Just quickly turns, walking back on his path.
And the head just kind of goes as he goes
back. He walks faster away.
You could use some lower body exercises. And then she kind of goes back.
Got him.
Creepy robot telling you it's leg day.
So then she kind of goes back into his stasis. And every once in a while you'll see just a panning of the head, trying to kind of scan anything that's kind of changed in.
Not horrifying at all.
Very comforting. Very comforting. This is my mask, by the way.
That is.
I'll have it. Well, it goes like this.
She's like a robot diss track as people walk by. It's like,
yeah, I want one of these installed in front of my house.
Oh, I think that honestly he was so base. For
Just running away.
Me for real. I can't.
You don't live long in Galarian by stopping to investigate every weird talking statue that activates on the docks. You're like, nope, not me. I got a job to do.
That is very true.
Some people aren't meant for this life. It's
not an adventure, not a hero, not
know
mine.
Who you are.
Not my dungeon, not my dragon.
Gosh,
it's so funny.
Back on the Sullen Starling.
Oh, yeah.
Just a few moments after this weird transmission appeared in the fore of your minds, you hear the captain call out over the deck, "Oi! Clear the decks! We're pulling into pier! Cassomir's a bit more rigid than some we stopped with just because they got so much business to handle. Get back in the cabins for now. Let you know when it's disembarking time, and gods would I be happy for it."
I will miss you.
I gal you will. I'll get in the cabin. Skywin is, blunt. But knows her job well. And before long, she has her barge pulled up alongside one of the small wooden piers off towards the edges of the docks. You can see that the area is separated into sections. It's not just one bay. There's far too much work for that. Off of one far side, there is a series of dry docks, massive harbors and work bays where dozens of craftsmen work on huge Taldan galleons. Warships and vessels that would smash the Sullen Starling aside without even noticing that it was there. Alongside next to that, larger merchant ships from out in the inner seas dock, and then the far western end of the piers, smaller transient vessels like yours, like the Sullen Starling. There's a lot of hustle and bustle on the piers as Skywind moves to dock, ready to unload the cargo. The hardwoods that you may have probably forgotten by now are the thing that she's actually transporting. It's not you. You were a favor. She's transporting cargo down here.
You protected her.
You protected her. She seemed quite capable, but, I mean, you did protect her from some strange things.
Before we disembark, I would like to grab something from my cabin real quick, and I'll kind of go up to Skywind real quick, just right before we leave. Excuse me.
What?
For all the trouble that you went through because of us, I'm going to present her with a new little crocheted vest out of the black yarn that Reese gave me. I remember how to do it now. And we also, really messed up your ship. So, it kind of, maybe even... I'm, really good at it. It's the crazy thing.
And you are. You see her look at it, and it's, clear that she's a little conflicted, because she doesn't She wants you. Every fiber of her being wants to say something rude or sarcastic, but it is actually really good. You see her desperately searching for something to say, and turning a little bit red as she does, or she just kind of mumbles, "Thank you," and so pushes past towards the gangplank down towards the pier to go pay her fees with the dock.
I think she liked it.
The four of you ready up at the gangplank. Further down dock by a warehouse, an unassuming vessel pulls up. But you don't see anything notably different about this than any other until your scanning sees a face that you very much recognize. You see Edelme up on the deck of this ship, handing something to a red-haired halfling, who then quickly skitters down the pier towards the dockmaster.
The head, you could almost hear the head snap in that direction. And
barnacle just pops off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get exterminated.
As I move, my feet crack off of the boardwalk because I've just been sitting there for so long. And I keep my head looking directly at Edelme as I go back on the dock. So my body's walking this way. I go down the dock, across, and then back up. And my head is snapped the same direction the whole time.
People are scrambling out of your way because you're not looking, though. You're like strafing sideways, running people over.
Menace.
But at this point, as you have your things gathered up on the pier, the four of you would see what appears to be a lithe, mossy golem scurrying down the docks, gaze absolutely locked on you as it races towards the gangplank of the Sullen Starling.
Marius is immediately on edge,
Whoa.
thinking that seeing someone coming clearly focused on us that fast and pushing people out of the way seems like a
I'm
threat.
gonna step to the front of the dock, or step to the front of the group.
So two of you would recognize this thing. MD, you've definitely seen, briefly, this creation at the center of one of your rituals. One of the many attempts that was made to elicit out the true power of these artifacts back in Thrushmore, the Star Stella. Edelme, you would recognize it because you made it. You both also saw her somewhat more recently. You didn't need your memories back to recognize the thing that had appeared in the prison on the moon, letting the two of you out as you were trapped in that torturous hell for a week.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! How are you here?
Edelme,
Yeah.
how's it?
You're
going?
covered in immediately. I mean, I'm familiar with the body of the droid, and I'm gonna immediately see that she's in disarray with this moss growing up on her and all this stuff. I'll be like, oh my gosh, you're covered in. You were out on the moon.
The mushrooms started growing after the moon.
Okay.
Looking at her a little more closely, you would notice it's not just moss and some caked on salt and dirt that had worked its way up her legs. There is something different. There are in several spots errant clumps of fungus that don't appear to just be growing on her frame, but out of it. They look strikingly similar to the manifestations of your own magic.
Oh. How is this happening to everybody that won't meet? I'm gonna try and pull a couple out, plucking them off.
Ouch.
Just sort of start preening.
I'm joking.
Sorry.
Prototype, you take 18 points of damage.
Whoa, wait!
I was not joking. Ouch.
Oh, no.
Ouch was what I said.
So it does feel things. That's funny.
Well, the way we play, we've been dusting this off of ourselves for
So yeah, but
Wait,
the
are you
fungus.
serious?
That was painful.
So you two know this.
It's our moon rescuer. Also a ritual component.
If this is anyone's first episode of Strange Aeons,
This
welcome.
is a crazy time to come in.
A lot of this stuff's happened. This is the robot that broke them out of the prison on the moon. There's mushrooms growing out of it. Welcome to Strange Aeons. This is just normal here.
I'm gonna go check on Reese. You deal with the robot.
Okay,
At that exact moment, you turn around to see her as she always is, moving almost just completely silently, regardless of her fairly heavy leather boots. I'm fine. I'm heading down to find a handcart. I'll stick with the plan, I suppose. I'll find a place to stay, and then I'm taking Martin to a healer.
Yeah.
I'll catch up with you guys later. And she, also recognizing the prototype, just kind of takes a glance at this and just gives it a weird look, and then hurries away down the gangplank. You two aren't the only ones who have had somewhat of a more aloof relationship since you got your memories back. Reese has been oddly distant. You have gone through many cycles of your relationship with Reese, but after everything, now she seems detached. She hasn't talked about why. She hasn't talked about much of anything, really. But here you are.
I'm hanging with you while you're looking at your creation. I'm just constantly studying, not to get too close, but just like, it's sentient. How did you?
Yeah, so it was meant to be like a sort of conduit to try and activate the ritual. It didn't work. No offense, but it didn't work.
What do you mean? It was not supposed to be alive like this, or
no, that it just.
It, she, him. I don't know what it. I don't know.
What are you going with lately?
Hello, my name is Prototype 47. Cammy is, as I have heard from the name, has not decided on a name yet for me. It must be a very important decision.
It's a lot of pressure.
That's true. I kind of.
This is Brett talking. This isn't even Reggie. This is just like Reggie. You gotta name her.
That's true. We kind of like. I don't know. It just didn't really seem
Right.
important at the time.
Seems to.
But we can work something out for sure. What do you feel like? Oh gosh.
I love how you just have to deal with the grin because obviously this thing can't emote. It doesn't have a face.
I'm like studying this thing, like walking around. I mean, obviously we've seen all kinds of like structures and things like that, but the fact that you created this thing is like, yes, there is something about you being far more from the beginning. This has been focused a lot on you. This is great work. I guess.
Thank you. I don't know if you mean that right now.
I do. It's just also very confusing. I'm just still processing the last week and everything, but
yeah, no, you tell me about it.
It's like
yes.
a robot child you have now all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, it was just kind of it was just sort of like a project that we were working on. It
isn't until now that the crew of the Sullen Starling starts to move again, having all kind of scattered for cover as this insane golem rushed their ship, expecting the final act of your deal with Skyrim to be Skywin to be to defend the ship from whatever this thing is. Realizing it seems to be friendly, they slowly peek back out from the hatches below deck, from the pier, from the water where one panicked jump overboard when this thing came running up the gangplank toward her.
Help that guy back out. Right, I don't think we should be standing on the pier in the way of all the workers in your fun little reunion.
It has not been a problem so far.
That's great for you, Dan.
Have we drawn attention from anybody?
There's a lot going on at this pier. And oddly enough, a strange statue rushing across the docks hasn't really caused any more of a fuss than the people she quite literally bowled over running over towards the Starling. Not really. I mean, this is a world where, like, golems and constructs and clockworks exist, and Cassomir is a pretty big trade hub, so it's not that uncommon for things like that to be present. This isn't that out of the ordinary for the day-to-day business of such a massive port city.
Are you telling me you've just been standing on the pier, waiting?
Yes.
How long?
Mun said to wait here when he left.
Oh.
And so I have been waiting here since he left.
Which was
a while ago.
like in numbers.
More than a day.
Okay. Let's see if you could you ballpark it maybe?
More than 2 days.
I don't think the prototype is good with time.
It's not perfect.
It's kind of we're working out some
well
kinks.
then,
you would think it would have a calculator.
I
do
a lot
of
Honestly.
I'm just gonna know immediately
I'm
the number.
gonna throw a bag. Gonna throw a rucksack at prototype. Make yourself useful. Carry that. We're gonna get out of the way. Because come down with a chest full of books from Laos. Like I'm definitely not just gonna leave our trash on her boat.
Yeah, you do have that fairly large trunk full of half of his personal library. All of the research that your former employer, Count Hassergen Lowells IV, Lord of Versex County back in Ustalov, had been doing into the Dreamlands, into the occult, the Dark Tapestry, and those artifacts that you had been trying so hard to activate, that you'd created the prototype trying to activate.
Just, Marius, make yourself useful.
Okay.
I go back up and I grab Martin and come back down. I was like, we're just gonna wait here for Reese. I want to get out of everyone's way. Let's go over there, off the boat, off the pier.
Did.
He could have left him in the bed until...
No, we're getting off the boat, out of her way. She's had enough of us. I just look at the cat, wherever she's at, she's had enough of us.
I guess I'm just standing here with a body now.
No, not a body.
You have the trunk.
I have Martin.
Okay.
Did Adelmay name you Marius?
No. That was my name before we met. Hi, prototype.
47.
47.
Do you not like the name Marius?
No, I was worried you had gotten distracted.
Oh. Yeah, no, we can I think we're gonna unload the ship. And leave the port. And I guess you can come with us.
Hey, you lot! And your Skywind call back over again. You see, where she went to go speak with the dockmaster, she has been joined by another figure. It's a man that looks pretty young, in his early 20s, with very dark brown hair, very well-kempt, pointed beard, wearing gold and white clothes with a wide cloak over it, almost looking like a robe. It's clearly ceremonial. It would serve no purpose at shucking off the rain or the elements. But as she turns around to the group of you, his attention turns towards you as well. And you see him point at you and turn back towards Skywind and kind of shrug, and she turns around and just nods. And then both of them start walking over your way, and the dockmaster just kind of puts his hands up like, what is this? And just walks back to other business away on the docks. This fella here wants to talk with you about that Daldomain fellow. I guess I'm not paying for docking fees for the next, what'd you say, 50 years? I don't think me or my ship's gonna be here in 50 years. Anyway, I guess I'll help the crew unload. And they're kind of staring into the void, just sort of drifts past you guys towards the gangplank. And the man looks and just smiles and nods his head. Ah, yes, hello. You must be the folk that Senator Daldomain had mentioned in his missive. You are quite distinguishable. I'm a representative from the Church of Abadar. The Daldomain family has extended a sizable stipend towards your group for unspecified acts of valor, but we were unable to locate any accounts into which we could deposit it. So, by your description, The church felt it was reasonable to assume you were mercenary types, and it may be easier to prepare a cash payment for you instead. If you're available, would you accompany me to the Church of Abadar?
Yes.
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 How big is the stipend?
20,000 gold pieces.
Let's go.
Hey, Captain. You mind if I just leave Martin here for Reese to come pick up?
Wasn't that the plan?
I didn't want to be on the boat in your way.
We'll leave. That's what the cabin's for. We're not loaning anything from the cabin. Just put him back in his bunk.
Put him back in his bunk.
Yeet.
I just want to say goodbye. I just want to say goodbye to Martin, my friend.
We're not. Is this the last time? Wait. When is Reese taking Martin away?
Reese's idea was to go try to find lodging in town somewhere to put him and her and you, four, if you needed to, up for whatever amount of time you need to be in Cassomir. I didn't expect it to be long. After all, you were kind of hoping to just find Count Lowell's and be done with it. But things with you never really seemed to be that simple. So she figured she'd save you the time of trying to find a good inn and find a place to keep Martin safe all in one fell swoop, while she hunted for someone that could help. You also know she's not a particular fan of the Church of Abadar and probably wouldn't trust them and is going to look for something else.
Yeah.
Alright then. So let's follow
Very
the
well.
nice man.
If you'll,
money.
if you'll follow me, then it's not far from the piers. The man turns without another word and heads further into Cassomir.
Take the trunk from Marius and dump it in the alleyway somewhere. Don't need those books.
Oh, Lowell's books?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. You were just digging through them trying to replicate the rituals he'd already performed that you now too have already performed. You don't need them anymore. Just dump them in an alley somewhere.
I'm sure none of these will fall into the wrong hands.
It's whatever.
None of
got
them.
the code
I mean, they're
words.
not like
We got ostentatiousness.
they're not like magical books. They're not spell books. They're mostly incredibly dry, esoteric, specific, niche. None of them would be particularly valuable. And this district you walk in from up by the pier is the harbor district of Cassomir. It's kind of got a type. Most of those down here are dock workers, sailors, and soldiers. Nobody that's coming down here for the moneylenders, the fight pits, or the brothels is going to be particularly interested in the kind of books you're just dumping in an alley, most likely.
Yeah.
Well, that's a stereotype.
I would hope maybe in the past week that knowing that we would be getting rid of a lot of this, emptying off as dropping things off, I still made enough notes because I want to know my enemy. Because if this guy's crazy, Reginald is like, I don't just want to throw these things away and just walk away from these knowing that we're going to be moving on.
There is a 3-piece fine for littering.
I'm not getting rid of them.
They're
I
on
have
my
own-
books.
There's a 3-piece. How do you know this?
She's the litter.
She's been here for, more than 2 days.
That's true.
That was a joke, by the way. I don't think you're litter.
Why did you use stone?
It's not really quite stone. It's what are you made of?
Man created this body. I don't know.
Can I tell? I know crafting.
You are a stoneworky dwarf man, aren't you?
Yes.
Give me a roll, buddy. Do dwarf stuff.
Is it
You're
gonna
a
go well
party
or go
member is
horrible?
stone-ish now.
Adamantine.
That's horrible.
27, and it's probably 29. I bet there's a bonus if it's stonework.
Definitely
So
a
probably
type of
29.
Just
stonework.
give it to him.
But 29, as you're looking over the prototype here, Dwarven stonework actually is a lot of this kind of stuff. One of the best possible materials to hold magical energy is earth. Any variety of earth. This is why most golems are stone or clay or metal. There is a reason for that. Like wood golems exist, glass golems exist. They're way harder to make and way more specific. Because ley energy, gonna get a little sciencey here, the magic in Galarian runs through Galarian. That's how magic works.
That's wild.
Pathfinder's like a world that has ley lines and stuff. That's how the magic system works here. So it's already kind of natively attuned. That's why so many spells require gemstones, specific types of gemstones, because they are the purest form of natural earth, and different types of gemstone are naturally attuned to different ley powers and different schools of magic. So stone is the cheapest that you can use.
So I can tell she's made out of basically a composite of like rocks and minerals and metals and stone. So
Yeah, there's a
basically
whole bunch of stuff. I
just
mean,
this earth.
Basically, a
kind
type
of
Rocks and
Yeah,
minerals and
around
stone,
it.
which are 3 different categories.
You basically just told me she's made out of the ground. So
Real dirt.
this is kind of what we had around at the time.
Yeah, the people
On a
go in the
budget.
backyard and
On a
get
budget
clay
for
to
that.
kill wood.
I mean, yeah, we kind
I
of,
get it. There's only so much.
yeah. The gemstone was like the most. That's like the pricey piece, but the rest of, you know, just kind of.
Very fascinating that you made that. I don't know, it's just catching me off guard a
I
little
mean,
bit.
not just Mun was a huge part of it.
Who's
no,
Mun
it was
again?
just- he's-
I thought she was saying mom wrong.
no,
Who's Mun?
no.
An accent thing.
Mun's a guy that we know. He specializes in,
Okay.
in this kind of.
And you two would remember Mun pretty well now that you've remembered so much of your past lives.
Didn't like him.
He wouldn't maybe have ever made enough of an impact to make it onto the Sleepless registries, Reginald, so you might not be familiar with him, especially because he hadn't spent that much time in Thrushmore. But he's an old alchemist and associate of the Count's. He had come up to help Count Lowell's attempt to, well, make these rituals work. The thought that perhaps alchemy might be the answer, Lowell's called the best man that he knew. Mun was unfortunately unable to make any more headway than the rest of you. But it was clear, even in the interactions you had over a short few weeks with him, that he has a brilliant, if unique,
He's a quack.
mind. He is, in fact, the last destination you knew of Count Lowell's. You knew Lowell's had headed here from Thrushmore. It's why you sailed down to Selene. It's why you came to Cassomir, knowing that Lowell's had come to seek Mun for assistance in translating the Necronomicon. He lives here, somewhere. And as you look across Cassomir, following this banker up from the harbor, past this huge fortress looming over on one side, and on the other, a massive ancient lighthouse with no apparent entrance, topped with a golden flame, just roaring against the sky. You follow this banker all the way from the southern harbors to the northern end of town, a district known as Three Gates. And the city changes dramatically in that 15-minute walk. You go from these harbors, trying to capture their audience, take the sailor's pay of those who are docked for their shore leave, to a very wealthy, ornate district of straight streets, lush trees, opulent displays of wealth. And not far into this district are you led towards a building that seems to be carved what might be purely of marble, or some similar white stone only Marius would be able to tell.
Marius, what's that
Marius?
stone?
Yeah.
What kind of
What's
stone is
that stone?
The gold
Never used to do it.
domed church/bank of Abadar. A massive building with its entrance flanked by rows of carved columns and a staircase leading to a row of massive double doors wide open to the public is quite a few folk, many dressed in finery, some not, make their way in and out on their daily business. The banker leads you inside and around a corner to a private office, very well appointed, very lush. There's pitchers of water and wine while you wait. As he heads into the back end, he spoke the truth. He returns with a stipend on behalf of House Daldemain. 2,000 platinum pieces. 20,000 gold. You had rescued the senator from the Grey Gardeners of Galt weeks ago, and he promised that while he was not fit to really reward you for your services then, he would. And it seems this man was more than true to his word. This is a fortune.
Right then. Do we sign any paperwork or...
House Daldomain wished to leave this gift somewhat loose on terms. We were given descriptions of the approaching party and a general estimation of your arrival, but beyond that, all paperwork has already been accounted for by the house.
Easy.
Excellent.
Now, if you wish to make such transactions simpler in the future for such seemingly successful mercenaries as yourselves, we'd be more than happy to guide you through the process of opening an account in the church.
Now,
Don't
that's
have
cool.
time for that.
Yeah.
Kind of in a hurry.
How do you spend that out and
what-
about? Is it like
I'm
some sort
gonna-
of card or?
What kind of interest are you
Take the money and
taking?
put it in a pouch.
No.
This
I'll
is
hold on
a,
to it.
like, almost disgusting amount of But in perspective, we have, like, I literally can't contextualize how much money 20,000 gold is.
20,000 gold.
This is like
Yeah.
buying Versex Manor in Thrushmore, Ustalav's entire estate, like 3 times
Oh my
money.
god.
This is, all of you could just say, forget this and go home rich kinds of money. This is
Early retirement.
Yeah, I mean,
Early
well,
retirement. Who needs Laos? Like
If I
this
still had a husband, I'd go home to him.
is life-changing money.
Awesome.
And you could. You have your memories back.
I have a nagging voice in my
But
head
you're
telling me
all-
not to.
Here.
You said we're halfway through the campaign. You're like, guys, we can just end it right now.
You
Well,
could!
Hey, welcome
Hey,
to the
have you
finale
ever
of
seen-
Strange Aeons.
Have you ever
You
seen?
can be the first party to retire happy from Strange Aeons.
Have you ever
I'm sure
seen
there'll be
the
no
premiere
downsides.
and the
Ignore
finale?
the weird voice you keep hearing.
Right.
It's fine.
I can get used
Don't worry
to
about
it.
what Laos is doing. The Necronomicon's not that important.
No.
Someone else will deal with
Be
it.
happy for the rest of my life, which isn't very long.
Happiness is fleeting, my friends.
You may have seen maybe double-digit platinum pieces before, like as the actual coinage. This is sacks. This is 5 huge bags of hundreds of platinum coins. This is like the bulk becomes problematic amounts of money. This is Looney Tunes cash.
About rucksack from the asylum way back when. All this
Does it
goes.
have like a symbol painted on the side?
Question.
Just giant dollar sign on the side.
Do
The
we
rob
have-
me.
Do we have any kind of interdimensionary plane kind of like
I have-
bag or hole or
I have
sack?
a big bag.
That's it?
The rucksack. I don't remember any details from it, but I've had it.
We're gonna get so mugged. We
We're
need to
fine.
do something
we
about
have
this.
prototype with us.
If you're unwilling to open an account with the church right now to allow us to track your funds for you, may I recommend a simpler and swifter approach? The amount of money that has been presented to you by House Daldomain is more than enough for a variety of bags of holding, portable knapsacks, anything that would be able to store this coinage weightless and in pocket dimensions. There's no need to lug the coin around
Great
yourselves.
idea.
One of those.
In fact, we keep several on hand, and we'd be more than happy to provide one for you now if you wish.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
The church will
You should have
simply
just jumped to that, actually.
the church can certainly simply take the tithing of a few of these pieces from this payment, and we'll be more than happy to exchange it for you.
Perfect.
I have a world adult question.
Okay.
Let's say we open up an account, but yet we go to some person in a different, town. How do
debit
we
card?
use the?
The bank is handled by God.
Yeah, so Abadar
Is there like a
god.
deity?
Like
Abadar
a
god
is a
deity?
deity. Abadar is like one of the major deities.
So
and he is the god
that's
of
how it works?
He's the god of money. So you know what?
It just
With God, all things are possible.
Keep
Do
that
we
in
get
mind.
like a credit
Just write that one down, buddy.
Yeah.
so is he
Do we
like?
get
card.
points?
We get the
Remind me to
platinum
talk about
card.
this in the post show.
So the
But-
god is
Do you
basically
actually?
the.
Can you get a credit card?
He writes the
Kind of.
ones and the zeros basically to actually create the program.
Well, the church does that.
Okay.
But he does have, I believe, one of his archangels is overseas currency exchange. Yes.
It's just in the sky. The currency is
So,
roughly.
you have a biblically accurate angel making sure that the ledgers.
The money is in the cloud.
Imagine.
So the internet does exist, but it's a god that runs
Imagine
it.
you work.
Okay.
Imagine you work at a bank, and your job is to keep track of all of these accounts or whatever accounts are assigned to you. But your bank is also the church to which you have dedicated your life, and it is heresy to get it wrong.
Right.
They're going to keep it pretty straight, I think.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good bank.
There's a reason the Bank of Abadar is everywhere in the Inner Sea regions, and everyone trusts it because stealing from it is punishable by God. So I mean,
Abadar's a pretty small dude.
Robbing a Bank of Abadar is like you literally just get struck by a thunderbolt when you walk out the front doors. It's like you get vaporized on the spot. Like it's.
So to pay for things, it's just a magical pocket I have that just like money just appears when I need it.
Remind me of the post show. But for now, what you have is a bag of holding.
Okay, got it.
A bag of holding that is provided for you that will store all of this coin functionally weightlessly, just the weight of the pouch itself, in an extra dimensional pocket connected to Axis, the plane of law over which Abadar holds dominion. Presented instead in this much more manageable pouch rather than your 5 giant sacks of bulging platinum coin, you have something you can handle.
Oof.
And if your business is thusly concluded, the bank will be happy to show you back towards the front doors.
Kimmy's gonna walk out and just like feel the sun on her face.
You'd think that.
Wait, what?
You walking
Hey,
through
wait,
the doors.
I was gonna do a bit.
I was expecting this sun on your face. Don't feel the warmth of the midday sun that you had left. In fact, it feels suddenly cool and almost clammy.
Huh?
A strange feeling of unease comes over you. It doesn't really feel overcast or like a storm had been rolled in. You weren't there long. You open your eyes and you look around to see a scene you don't recognize. This isn't the streets of Three Gates you had just left. All of you step through the front doors of this bank into what the ruins of a grand entry hall to a massive manor estate. The hallway lies decrepit. Parts of the ceiling caved in, rubble and dirt strewn across the floor. A once grandiose chandelier, a crumpled heap of metal in the center of the room. You see several staircases leading up to upper levels, some of which still look passable, some questionable. You turn and look behind you, and you see a double door. Well, one door just gone entirely, one barely hanging by a single hinge, and a dark city rolling out behind you. It isn't Cassomir. It's an inland city. There's no port. There's no movement or signs of life. Nobody about the streets, and what looks like it must have also been once a very opulent neighborhood. Perched up on a hill, looking down over a ruined town, with a single tall stone clock tower standing in its center. Now with that, we're going to take our midstream break. We're going to stand up, stretch our legs, grab some snacks. If you like what you've seen so far, drop us a follow. It's the best and the easiest way that you can help support the show and get some more eyes on us. We really do appreciate all of you being here. And we'll be back. But before we go, I know, I'm getting there. We have yet more. We talked earlier about the incredible amount of things that we had happening this week between the finale of Defy the Dragon, the premiere of Secrets Between the Stars, the premiere of Chapter 4 of Strange Aeons. There's a lot going on this channel if you like tabletop content. But if you like tabletop content, and I'm not just talking RPGs, we have more coming down the pipeline. did you know, this is just a completely random and unrelated fun fact, that I met like half of this group through Warhammer?
Not me.
Me. I'm half the group.
That's half.
It's you, it's Nick, it's Jen.
It's actually, it's a lot of people who are,
I've met a lot of this group through Warhammer, actually. We've got a lot of various tabletop content. We recently started branching out, playing with some magic. You know. Why not try some Warhammer? So, enjoy the first look at some of our upcoming content here that we need your help with.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. Feudal lords conscript their citizenry in the millions to feed into an endless meat grinder, desperate to save themselves from destruction. But maybe there's a better way. I say the 41st millennium needs some good old 21st century democracy. But what good is democracy without the voters? That's right, we need you. Join the Discord, hear the campaign pitches, and vote for your candidate for President of Space.
Welcome back, everybody. If you missed it, or you're on YouTube, where I'm not confident if that's going to make it to the video or not, we have just announced. I know we cut the break out. I'm not sure if that's getting in. We are starting a Warhammer show. Warhammer 40K. In the grim darkness of the far future, we need your vote to help us pick the President of Space.
President of Space.
So join our Discord. Head on over. Make your voice heard. Even if you don't know anything about Warhammer 40K, pick what's funny. That's what we do. That's where Strange Aeons is funny, right, guys? This is a funny campaign.
I mean,
It's the most serious I've ever been for the
I want
longest
you to
amount
know,
of time.
this is the silliest character I have ever played.
I feel it.
That's lies.
I feel it.
And I'm a fox man.
Hey, your last character was what?
Last character was what?
Your last character was what?
A silly little rat.
Two characters.
Actually,
before
my
that.
last character was John Tiller.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Well,
it was
that's
John Double
probably
Homicide
like a
Tiller.
farmer
That's
or
true.
something.
Yeah, he was just a guy.
No, he was a serial killer, but
No,
anyway.
he was a silly
Oh.
guy.
Oh.
Silly.
It was self-defense. They attacked first.
He sounds like
As
a tractor brand.
We
That's the point.
left off. Our party here, full of vim and vigor, having just been gifted a king's ransom in platinum pieces from the Domain estate, the patriarch of which they had saved from a quick death at the hands of a Grey Gardener, or much worse, a very slow death at the hands of a Grey Gardener back in Galt. Made their way out of the bank/church of Abadar, not back into the streets of Cassomir, but into the foyer of a ruined estate somewhere else entirely. Who do we have here in this entry hall?
Wait, name and character? Is that what we're doing? Okay, cool. That's
good to know that I forget to do this often enough that the party doesn't know what I'm talking about. That's great. I'm great at this.
My name is Wet. I play...
What?
Listen, the game is so serious. Like, this is the only time we get.
Joke's on you. That's me all the time.
Hey!
You have just spent an hour and a half with a funny robot getting handed sacks of comically large
And it's
money.
a relief. It's a relief. All right, my name is Brett. I play Reginald Sagacious Fox.
I'm Sully, and I play Cammy, the itty bitty gnomish witch who had a bit when she was gonna come out of the bank. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know who I am anymore.
I'm the bit killer.
Maybe I'm Adelme.
I'm Colby. I play MD, our 6'8", full-blooded orc rogue. All I got. Very serious character.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bryn. I'm going to be playing a automaton. I don't know if robot's really the right word for this, but automaton. And I'm here to be totally normal and not, fit into the party seamlessly. Nobody will know, a new character here.
Perfect.
I'm Marcus. I play Marius, the Ghoul Dwarf Ranger. I'm a serious professional.
She said she wants to fit in.
Absolutely no fun
And
business.
if you enjoy our content, please follow our network. Hop in the Discord. All of us and our cast are in there all the time, answering questions and talking to people. And if you want to pick up some cool stuff and help support the show at the same time, check out some of our sponsors down there. We got some really good ones. I just want to share this real briefly before we get into this here, because these guys got me some really nice easy roller dice that are the cosmic horrors of space colored is what I'm going to call this. It's like a mottled, veiny purple and gray. Like, they look so good. Thank you guys for this. You can get some for yourself. They got dice for every budget.
Also, you mentioning funny rat character reminded me that we have a merch store. Some cool t-shirts.
We do have a merch store, and there's a funny
How you
rat
doing?
character
What?
on there.
Not my character.
Yeah, it's not
We
your
got
character.
we bringing
but-
t-shirts back, baby. How you doing?
I think UGT has a brand with Yosoki, by the way. Like, every Yosoki we have is a banger.
It always hits.
It's hard to not make a Yosoki banger, man. They just lend themselves to
We gotta start
S-tier
screening our
characters.
Yosoki player characters. Like, they gotta be good.
But as the five of you look around the moldy, ripped carpet of this once grandiose hall, you hear something in the distance. It sounds like humming. Very upbeat, very happy, very sing-songy. And separately, you hear footsteps as coming through a ruined doorway further down the hall, shambling quickly towards you, you see a decrepit figure as ruined as its surroundings. Mottled, burnt out corpse hustling towards you, wearing vestiges of what looks like it was once a black suit, smoke rolling from its eyes and mouth, and nothing in the eye sockets save for deep, recessed, burning red lights.
Probably a friendly.
And as this thing scurries towards the group of you, who's in the front of this? You were the one joyously swirling your way out of the bank, Adel May, so...
I just had a little funny joke. I didn't even tell
Is it funny?
This is what happens when you have
I
fun.
didn't even get to tell it.
I don't like it
They
when
just
Dad's
told me to
mad.
shut up and get hit. It's great.
Make me a fortitude save!
Ah! Okay. Will
Okay.
this will this be causing me damage?
No.
Isn't this the first roll?
No.
Will
No,
not
he
be
had the
causing
first
you
roll.
damage.
Oh, you had the first roll.
The first stone.
I did have a
First.
It's perception check. It was
Yeah.
prototype at the first
Oh,
round.
you're right.
Brimstone fortitude save.
Okay.
As you
Natural
look
save.
at this creature approaching and you kind of lock eyes with it,
Does it have eyes you can really lock on to?
lock your
I'm
gaze.
nervous. I know what that adds up to. I don't know why I'm typing it. It's a 30.
You feel a numbness
It's a
in
31.
your body. You are drained 1.
Ooh,
Oh, that's a bad one. Where
I
are the
don't-
cards go?
I don't
I don't remember anything.
All of the rest
I'm
of
gonna
you
keep
can
that in my
see
dome.
Adel may look at this thing and immediately just shrink a little bit and stagger a half step back. At the same time you see that, you see another figure, the source of the humming. Literally dancing through a doorway on the other side of the hall is the specter of a woman. She has ghostly tendrils of hair spiraling back behind her, effervescing back into nothing, and seems to be dressed in a very plain nightgown with a simple tiara upon her head. And she flits through, making a motion like she's dusting around the door frame. I mean, nothing in her hand. She is a specter. This other creature still rushing towards you. I want everyone to roll me some initiative.
I thought we were done with all of this.
That's right, I have timey-wimey stuff.
And you, of course, Reginald, as you're here, as you see everything come to a head here, the color for a brief moment starts to fade, and the entire view before you shifts and jumps around. You don't shift. You just roll normally.
We're broken.
Do I not have... Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to do anyways. I just wanted to roll normal anyways. Because
You right now.
Cool regular guy, just like
wait,
the rest of us.
did you say I was broken?
No, it was a joke.
I was like, ow. I was like, why are you giving me this?
You can't use the words that are statuses.
A new friend, Prototype.
35.
35. Edelmay.
37.
Reginald.
It's 32.
I guess 35 is not that high. We're just level 12 now. Marius.
I guess I was the last one out the door because I got 28.
MD.
26.
Oh, got him.
It's in fashion for me to roll the lowest all the time. Rogues want to be first.
What'd you roll?
A 6.
Okay, I got 7.
30. You got 35, Reginald?
I got 35.
32. You got 35, 32. This is a 31. So this creature here is going to be right in the middle. Now, it's... Cammy, you understandably react first here. It's hurrying towards you, but it's not sprinting at you. It's not like feral running. It's like someone who's late for class, just kind of fast walking down the hall towards you, and it has its hands up, like waving as it scurries closer. It's about 15 feet back. What do you do?
I'm going to, Edelmay kind of staggering back, completely shocked by the change of surroundings, by feeling herself like almost drawn to and just like frozen with fear and weakness looking at this creature. I'm just going to kind of stumble backwards, laying a hand onto MD, just sort of instinctively, and that's going to be Stoke the Heart.
What does Stoke the Heart do?
What does Stoke the Heart do?
What does Stoke the Heart do?
Oh! I'm never asked this anymore. You will gain a status bonus to damage rolls. It's really good. It's 4 right now, so you'll get a +4 to damage rolls every damage roll.
You want to do anything else, or?
No, I don't feel good.
Before Prototype, the ghost of the woman whirls around and just seems to notice that you're all here and jumps. Literally, oh! I didn't know my husband was expecting company. And just confusedly kind of gestures towards the burnt out corpse. Prototype?
We are sorry for intruding. I am unsure on how doors work.
And I am... Can I, roll a perception check to see if this guy walking towards it... Because he has, like, a weird hand gesture. Does he seem like he is a threat? I mean, obviously he looks, but
Take an action to seek.
I don't want to stereotype here, guys.
I don't want to be.
No, it's okay. My bones feel like he's a threat.
Can this robot take social cues? Let's find out.
First of all, I have very little.
Automaton, please.
Automaton, yes, first of all. Okay, so perception check. Let's see here. 17 plus 16 is what? 33?
33. You would get the feeling that this thing shuffling towards you is both kind of startled, just like the lady appears to be, and also confused. It does not seem to be aggressive.
Oh, great.
It's just a horrible creature rushing at you.
Okay. Would you like us to remove our shoes?
Do you have shoes?
No. But the rest of us do.
Reginald, you are the last of the group to react before this creature does. Do you do anything? What do you do here?
Can I?
You can hold. That's absolutely an option.
Well, I was gonna say.
Very valid, also.
That's a great option right now.
Yeah, but if I prepare, if I like have a spell possibly prepared, but yet I don't.
You can spend 2 actions to ready one, or you can just wait a turn and then it'll put you at a different step of initiative if you want. But if you want to interrupt somebody's turn, you can only prepare 1 action. So unless it's a 1-action spell, you can't ready it.
All right. Honestly, I think I just want to hold for right now. Can I want to hold the haste action. If can I be next to her?
You're all kind of together. You're all in a little cluster because you all walked through the door together.
I want to hold. I want to hold the spell haste, which does take up 2 actions.
This. Well, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want because when it comes to you, it's just your turn again. You don't have to like pre-declare what you're doing or anything. This creature approaches and stops short just before Cammy, and then turns to look at the prototype. Make me a Fortitude save.
Well, bird to the feather. Let's see here. Fortitude, so 29.
You are trained 1.
Okay, trained 1.
You feel some of the power start to fade and flicker from the crystal that drives you, a little bit less energized. And just meeting this thing's gaze, clearly, the other 3 of you, you can all see it. When it looks at you, it's just crippling. It is a very busy week for Lord Eldarius. We apologize. Do you have business?
We don't even know where we're at.
Make a Fortitude save.
I'm good at these. That's what I said. 28.
Trained 1.
Yeah, that was a failure.
Oh, if you are simply lost, I unfortunately must insist that you give us some space. Again, Lord Eldarius is terribly busy today, and we've much preparations going on. As you can see, I apologize, my lady. I'll see them to the door.
Our apologies.
And the lady just kind of waves her hand. Oh no, of course, it's more than fine. We apologize for being such ungracious hosts at this time. It's just with everything going on with Avaric's gala, there's just much to do. And you see her bend down and pick up nothing off the floor, and then go back to dusting around like she's holding something. And the burnt-out husk, the servant, turns back to you again.
Then, this is... Are some ghosts stuck in a pattern? Like they just keep repeating certain events over and over again in Pathfinder world?
Make me a religion check.
I'm good
Any
at
of
these.
you can do that. That's a great thought. Oh, you're pretty good.
I'm master in religion.
Yeah, you're actually. I keep forgetting that you're the weirdest orc.
31.
The weirdest orc. Yes. It's
It wasn't for me.
very common, actually. In fact, almost exclusively how ghosts function. The one thing that most folk, even like commoners, know about ghosts is that they're usually like a place is haunted, right? The ghost is there. That's normally because they cannot leave. They're bound to whatever place it was where they were created. And in many cases, they are stuck just reliving some event forever. It's entirely possible this lady's in a loop. However, this servant in front of you seems to be a sentient, corporeal undead. They're usually not. He seems to have thoughts and is reacting to things, is clearly talking to you. You've met ghouls. That's normally more how these are. You've met ghouls. Dude, I'm right here. Sorry about this. You're a little special, all right? You're a little bit different than your average ghoul.
A little snowflake.
Buddy, where are we? Like, what is this town?
This is this town.
Yeah, we were just in Cassomir, and now we're here.
must regrettably say I'm unfamiliar with the Cassomir, but this is Avon Vor. This is the estate of Lord and Lady Eldarius. And again, I apologize. I'm sure perhaps at a local tavern, the innkeeper or bar wenches may be able to answer your questions. You maybe seek a bounty board or something, but we are very much busy. I do apologize.
Can I go back and check the door?
You turn around and just look at the front door of this house, and you look out across this town at one stark clock tower standing in its center, a quarter of one of the faces broken free. The whole town looks like it doesn't fare much better than this building does. The door looks utterly unremarkable, save for its ancient state. There's no sign of the streets of Cassomir or the bank that you came from.
Can I go back in?
Through the door?
Yeah.
He's sort of shepherding everyone that way. Like, it's kind of like, all right, come on, we gotta go. Like,
I just got rich. I don't want to be here. Hold on. Can I go through the door, please?
Yeah, there's one of the doors is just straight up not there. If he wanted to close it on you, he could not. Cammy, you step out through the doorway and just kind of glance at everybody else who is there being shepherded here. Everyone's kind of moving. I mean, he is sort of shooing you out the door.
Question, when's this gala happening that seems to be going down that you are preparing for?
It's tomorrow eve, but if you have not received an invite by now, I'm afraid it's a very intimate affair.
Okay.
Please. And you, Reginald, turn back as you step through the door to a wooden hallway. Walls of...
Not a city? Like
white painted sandstone, a lush carpeted floor, brightly colored silks draped down the length of this short hall. All of you do.
Oh. Okay, thank goodness. What is happening? How do I get back?
And as you turn back to look at the door you just came from, you see a woman standing in the doorframe with black and white garb, very heavy jewelry adorning her neck and her fingers, holding the door, the strange headdress and raven black hair. I wish you the best of luck. Again, once the door is closed, we cannot reach in to help you. You will be on your own.
What?
Where are we?
And she looks across the two of you and then looks back. She takes a deep breath. She says, worse than I feared. There's some kind of temporal anomaly. Where did you come from? What is the last thing you remember?
Estate.
Estate
Avonvor.
There was a gala that was, yes.
There's a lord and a lady, and then a burnt man. There was ghosts.
Do you have any concept of the date?
Last I knew, it was...
Some of the Mysterium's defenses are tied into the time streams. It meant to project intruders far into the future when we have readied ourselves to deal with them. Something must have gone awry.
Where are we now?
Who are you?
I am Elder Thier. I head the Mysterium Guard. You had just spoke with me at length, but with more brevity than I had wished. Please, before something further happens, step inside. And she kind of steps back and reveals a small little office behind her.
Yeah. So, before all of this, when we got to Cassomir, did we have any concept of the date?
I'm sure we did.
You would be able to give her a date of, you would be able to give her the date that it was when you showed up.
I feel like Reginald definitely takes documents all the time.
You would be able to give her the date that you had arrived in Cassomir. And she would...
Party foul, dude.
We went far into the future, guys.
This is the future.
I'm like a teacher. I'm like legit
ringtones in the future.
I'm like legit mad at you. I'm just.
What is this magic?
Strange music starts emanating from Middlemay.
That's on brand.
And this time, it's not...
Oh, he's actually legit mad at you.
It's not a time.
I'm just joking.
You would be able to tell her the date, and she would look around and say, that's 2 weeks in the past. Something must have happened. You must have tripped one of the words. I believe you have already been into the Mysterium, and somehow you have been delivered here. Cassomir, you said.
Yes, first Cassomir. Then we go in a bank. And then we go through that door.
That is what you had told me, so that aligns. So
Yeah,
the past
wait.
have not yet frayed. I had just finished speaking with you. You had wished to enter the Mysterium to...
No. This is the first time we've talked to you.
I'm afraid it isn't. Again, something must have happened. There are elaborate magical defenses inside the Mysterium. You must have activated something. There's no time to detail them all, and given the situation, they may be acting in unpredictable ways. I believe you have stepped through time.
Oh, we were just at a bank, though. We weren't doing anything special.
We just walked out of a bank. That's all
Please.
we did.
Time is somewhat of the essence, but the more that I can learn of your situation, the more I may be able to help you. And she walks back into her office towards a desk sat in the middle.
Walk in after her, I guess.
Following her?
Yeah.
Do you know what's going on?
Each of you step
No.
through the door.
Glad we got this guy.
Each of you step through the door and out into Town Square of what looks to be a simple fishing village. The buildings here do definitely look of an older style. Exposed wooden beams, stone, thatched roofs, and a bay not far from here. The heavy moon hanging in the night sky, framed against a single tower rising up from an island
Immediately grab Cammy.
in the water.
I just grab her shoulder and I pull her closer.
You hear a lot of things. It is very loud. Thunderous crashes of stone and splintering wood, the clash of steel, the cries of battle, the roars of an army in full swing. And a single voice much closer to you. Brick! Brick, please, my leg! And you turn around back towards the door that you'd stepped through. Up on a wide raised porch, you see a woman. An arrow struck through one of her calves. She has long, almost waist length, bright blonde, nearly white hair, and she looks so small. Not dressed for a battlefield. A flowing yellow garment, almost like a sundress. And she lays down to stun, clutching her leg. You hear dozens of arrows loosed from their bows. You see clouds of tiny little blades wreathed in silvery white flame sailing towards the town. Everybody roll me initiative. It's going to matter a little more this time.
Does this? It doesn't look like Avon Vor Town. Like it's not.
This does not look like Avon Vor, but this would look very, very familiar to three of you.
Yeah.
This is the square where you fought the Tatterman.
Gonna use this hero point from Hypervol. I have just the thing to re-roll my roll.
You roll your roll more gooder.
I rolled another 6.
All right, Reginald.
That is a 27.
He's
You could throw me way back there.
confused. Edelmay,
Launch me to the front. It's a 40.
40.
What?
MD.
Didn't know that was even
I don't know
possible.
what I'm gonna do with it.
25.
What'd you roll into?
A 5.
Prototype.
I rolled a 1, and so I got a 17.
I don't feel so bad now.
Marius.
25.
Oh my gosh, it's the
Who wants to
same
go
map.
first?
Dude,
I'll go
that's
first.
crazy to look at.
I'm kind of surprised you can recognize this same map from over a full
That-
year ago.
I
at this point.
remember
Sorry, it's
this
actually
fight.
28. Sorry.
Okay.
I
It's a
almost
memory.
killed Easy.
I remember this fight a lot,
There's
actually.
trauma built in this fight.
You would certainly, well, There's clearly some drama there. We instantly recognize this map. A sane 221, a hero point. Do more gooder, MD.
I'm trying my best.
And now you have the power to succeed.
The Ustalov army gets a 39, which puts them below Cammy.
I love hearing going
I'm
against an
stronger
army.
than any army.
I know exactly.
How do you fight an army?
You can see, as you really quickly gain your bearings, that you are surrounded. There are detachments of soldiers to the south, to the east, and to the north. Lines of infantrymen with sword and shield protecting platoons of longbow-wielding archers, simply raining clouds of arrows down towards the center square. You look around and see the broken shafts and scattered heads of dozens of arrows already landed here. What do you do?
That's a lot of people.
They're organized into 3 detachments. There's like a southeast and one like north by northeast. But it's a fairly large area. They're well back, keeping their distance and firing on you.
Okay, I'm not gonna be the one that rushes forward. I'll be rushing forward from behind somebody else.
Rushing forward from the back.
Edelme is, as soon as they're sort of apparated to this new zone again, and MD grabs a hold of her, she's kind of startled for a minute before she realizes exactly what's going on, and is just going to fully lean into that and just sort of rotate herself behind him, holding on to the back of his coat.
Take cover behind a person.
That is what I am doing, and I'm going to stoke him. This time, for real.
Alright, move.
Just
cover,
like total,
stoke.
fully embracing that.
Alright.
I can get us out of here.
So I'll just bury my face
Before
in his coat.
any
and
of
be
the
like,
rest
"Not
of
again."
you can even get your bearings, the arrows are loosed. Tiny pinpoints raining down from the sky. I need the first, I'm gonna need 2 reflex saves from everyone. Realistically, you're all catching 2 of them. Cammy, taking cover, you will get a +2 to these.
No.
You had a moment to attempt to hide.
Okay. And, would you say that this will hurt?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say the arrows will hurt you.
Okay. That won't matter. I'll make my checks, though.
I'm gonna use a hero point. I rolled a 2.
Okay.
Again, this was from a while ago. It was probably Nebula. Probably was her using this one.
Speaking of Nebula, I'm also going to use one because I rolled a 3. This one's called Forge's Labor. Thank you, Nebula.
Oh, would you? No.
I rolled another 2. I rolled 2 back-to-back 2s.
Nice.
All right, that one's just gonna be a failure.
Sometimes.
What do you got, Reginald?
Some days.
So one of them is a what am I doing? Reflex?
Yes.
One of them is 24, and the other one's a natural 20, which would be a 42.
Natural 20, you're obviously fine, but the other one's going to be a failure. So you have 1 failure. Cammy.
37 and a 38.
Success and a success. So you're taking, I'm just going to roll the damage once. You're each taking a total of 1 instance of damage.
I have a natural 20 and
Road.
a 32.
Road. You take nothing.
How do you take nothing but I take
28 and a
so
34.
28 and 34 is a failure and a success. You're taking 1.5 loads of damage.
37, 39, up to crit success.
Yep, you're taking nothing.
You're so far away, I can't have
So
five
1
when
load of
that
damage,
happens.
1 load of damage, 1.5 loads of damage.
Oh, is that bulwark?
Oh, what?
Nope, you're good.
So these are simply arrows. Reginald will take 18 damage. Edelman will take 18 damage. Prototype will take 27 damage. And each of you that took damage need to make me a fortitude save.
With hers, it's 2 instances of 9. Or
Yes, it's 9 and 9.
So as she gets hit, the pain's not as much as you think it is. Even though MD managed to block most with his armor and his shield, wounds still opened up as scars tear open. Because regarding Aegis ritual that we have between the two of us, she takes 6 less damage now that we're level 12.
So 3 and 3.
Yeah, and
So
then
she
I
takes
take
6, you take 12.
I take 12. I take the damage that gets reduced from her.
Well, actually, you succeeded at both saves, so you don't need to make the saving, the fortitude save. It's Reginald and Prototyping fortitude
I have
save.
37 on me.
37 will succeed.
31.
31 will succeed. Both of you now have 10 resistance to positive.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Your healing is tough.
What?
It's tough to heal us, I think.
The silver and white flames on these arrows flash across you and make you more resistant to healing.
Oh. Ouch.
Reginald.
Can I just quickly say to the group, are we
be a shield
escaping
for
or
me.
fighting?
Try going through the door.
Where are you gonna escape to?
Try going back through the door.
Okay, well, I'll have I'll take my pipe out, which I believe is one action, and then I will immediately use it, which casts. It's like the fog
It's,
around.
big smoke
It's
cloud.
a big smoke cloud around me that I can see perfectly through. And
Great thing that casts when a bunch of archers are shooting at you.
Right, yeah.
This is like the premier situation for them.
Yeah, I was like, everybody get close to me, and then I cast this, and then I don't even know where to go.
There was a door to this larger building here behind this woman laying on the porch, but it is closed. Half of the building to the north looks like it's been demolished by a huge stone that has crashed into the ceiling, fired by a catapult.
I want to get it to where I'm in the center of everybody, and they can either like hold on to me as I guide them back through the door if we all are trying to escape.
Is it 2 actions to blow your pipe or just 1?
Oh, I believe.
Do you get to move or are you still there? Because the spell is 2, but the pipe might let you cheat.
Right.
Sometimes the items let you cheat on actions. While you look that up, that's just going to determine where you are at the end of your turn. MD.
I'm gonna hold.
I'm going to wait. Marius.
I'm just saying, I don't think we should be here. I think we should be leaving. So far, going through the doorway has made weird things happen, so maybe that'll get us out of here. I'll move closer to wherever I need to be. But otherwise, waiting.
Closer to the door next to the woman?
If that appears to be the way we came in,
there.
yeah.
That's where you came out. They're like right behind her. You turned back around, she was there.
Yeah.
Anything else? Longbow range, you're one of the few that could probably engage the soldiers, but you are in a mist. You can't see them.
I mean, I'll say I hunt prey, but otherwise I'm not really going to do anything.
Tell me when you want in, by the way. Prototype.
A head swivels. First of all, looking down, one of the arrows just like embedding into her hip, where it's like one of the only soft, squishy parts, which is a like whole shelf of mushrooms on her hip. Arrows firing in, very painful. Looking down, looking back up, swiveling the head over to the door, and then she actually doesn't really have feet. She just has like little like pogo legs. And
every time you try and describe your body, you have to go. Actually, it's not.
Not really feet, but we go tink 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 up the stairs, and then I open it. I go look at the door, try the knob, and just like push with all of my. You know how doorknobs work. Just push with the doorknob.
Are you saying you want to make an athletics check? Yes. Is that what you're saying?
Force the door open.
A regular door check.
A regular door opening check, yes.
I don't think she's had a character do a regular door.
You gotta stop making characters that just run through walls and stuff.
Oh, okay, that's gonna have to be. That's a natural one, so I'm going to do a little hero point there. Okay, Link, great timing, by the way. We're gonna do a little hero point here. Try and re-roll that 1 into something other than a run 1.
Hero pointing a door.
Hero pointing a door is pretty good.
It's one action.
So you are
31.
31? It is a wooden door. It is locked. You don't care. You grab the knob, attempt to turn it, doesn't move, and literally just force your arm through and just like punch a hole through the middle where the handle was. And with a little creak, the door just kind of slings inward, revealing the inside of what looks like it may have been a tavern. It may have been an inn. It's kind of in disarray from the damage the north side has taken. A wall has collapsed across it, knocked a lot of chairs and tables aside.
And that was 2 actions?
Move, launch, you have 1 left.
Okay. And then I'm actually going to... Am I taking up the whole doorway?
You're just in front of the door.
Okay. Well, oh well.
Well, the girl on the ground's in front of the door, so you're kind of like to the side.
Okay. Can I pick up the girl?
Absolutely, you can pick up the girl. She would kind of yelp in pain as you pick her up, and sort of like just like push back against you a bit, and just grabbing her like, oh, Brick, please.
I'm gonna have, and all she sees, she can look up, and it like the head of this automaton is actually just 3 giant holes going into the head, and I'll just be staring right, like face to face, right at her.
You're being
I'm
rescued. Please stop.
You
resisting.
are. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Prototype is just standing in front of the door.
Next to the door,
next to the door.
holding a woman that you recognize, at least.
Yeah, I do recognize her. That's not important right now. The arrows raining from the sky are really important.
She called out for you,
wanna
dude.
go?
Twice.
Holy cow!
Twice. I don't know her. Rick doesn't have any memories of her, does he?
He does not, no.
Yeah.
This is sad.
Don't know her. I'm gonna pick up Cammy and run through the door.
Such a
Get
ladies'
wrecked,
man.
it's
You
me.
don't even know what it is.
Yeah, so I don't know who that woman is.
That was my whole turn.
You grab
She better be
Cammy
jealous.
and run through the door. It's shelter from the arrows, at least, inside this building. But you are still here. As you kind of hold her inside this ruined entryway, you hear the blast of a horn in the distance, followed by a call. Order of the Pyre! Forward! Followed by the thunderous gallop of hooves approaching.
Get inside.
Cammy,
I do yell for her to get inside too.
if you want to hop out of MD's hands, you can. If you're
No,
gonna stay
my
up
life,
there,
I-
you're slowed 1. So you got 2 actions.
I got 2 actions?
Yes, if you're moving together, you're both slowed 1.
Okay, no, that's fine. I don't need to go anywhere. I was so scared. I think I'm gonna... I don't know what's going on. When we get inside the building, I was like, it's not, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. I'm going to sustain his Stoke the Heart, and I'm gonna cast Shield.
Fair enough.
I haven't done this in a long time.
Pink. A little shimmering wall of force appears in front of you. Fearful as you aren't really sure what to do here. Another hail of arrows is loosed out from bows in the distance. Those still outside. Marius, Reginald, Prototype. 2 reflex saves.
Is there some sort of like plus we have because they can't see us?
Yeah, they can't see you. You know, I'll jump into 1 actually. I'll just make 1 miss entirely because they can't see exactly where you are in this huge cloud. So 1 reflex save. Because it's like they're blanketing an area because they're just 20 people shooting.
Right.
So it's not like it's super precise. But I'll give you 1 instead of 2. 50% resistance.
You didn't make my whole turn completely useless. Thank you.
I rolled 2. I'm just gonna take the better one because I'm greedy. And that was an 18, so that's definitely gonna succeed.
At least he's honest.
38
What was your other one?
A 7 for 30.
You're fine regardless.
Mm,
Your
38
reflex saves 1 billion. This isn't for you. Prototype.
38 or 28, depending on how generous you're feeling.
Roll 1 of them.
Dang. Wow, harsh. You see? Oops. Oh, pretty good. 36.
36?
Yes.
You take half.
I had a 40.
You're fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
14 points of piercing damage for the prototype.
Nice.
As the regiment towards the east, you can barely make out, if they weren't such a large force, you wouldn't be able to see through the cloud, starts to approach, pressing towards the building. Reginald.
Running in and then obviously keeping the smoke there. I don't know if until like my next turn if I can like as soon as the doors close and they're outside, I want to dissipate this. I want to shut it on.
Okay.
But I don't think, based off how the turn situation would go.
You could do one of these if you want to.
Oh, because everybody else.
Because
Yeah, I'll
then
do that.
everyone else
I'll go
will have
last.
the
Yeah,
chance.
yeah. I'll make sure
And
everybody
then
else
Marius.
gets in.
Running inside. This is a really bad time, but did any of you guys hear a thing earlier about maybe trying to wake up?
You think like right now?
I'm gonna try to wake up. I don't know, we're asleep or something.
You're gonna try to wake up. Make me a will save.
We're in a weird spot, so once I
It's
get
not a bad
once I get
idea.
under cover,
It's not a bad idea.
it's not going great right now. It's 24.
You rush to the
Goes
building, really jam your eyes shut, and open them. You know before you open them, nothing's changed. You can still hear the war raging around you.
Waking up or something?
The voice.
Oh, right.
You have one action left.
When we're inside, it just looks kind of like ruins. There's no.
Well, it looks like it was fine up until whatever destroyed the north side of the building, which looks like it was extremely recent, caved in the northern wall. The rest of the building was still just set up as a perfectly fine, simple meeting room of some kind.
Nothing that would look like a basement entrance. Like.
Not that you see here, no. It is like on the bay, so it'd be kind of hard to go down. The bay is just like to the south, past that southern platoon. You're near the coastline.
I don't think we can fight an army. I think we've gotta hide or something. So I want to just kind of make myself low to the ground and like kind of take cover or hide.
Yeah, you can absolutely be inside and take cover and have a ton of cover. In your arms, prototype, this woman continues. How? We have to get to the third Stella, please. We're so close to this. We didn't. Please, Brick. Aiden, like everything we worked for.
I don't know what's going on.
Remember that dream I told you about?
And she reaches a hand out and kind of just puts it on the chest of Prototype. And you feel the crystal inside you start to vibrate. It has so much energy flowing through it. The woman again says, I'm still channeling. I'm still the conduit. I can still help. Oh, my leg. And skin starts to grow over the prototype. Flesh starts to spread out from the cracks and the joints.
That's horrible.
And then its way around her body. Even as it grows, where it connects, where it makes seams, are scars and whorls. It is dramatically imperfect. And the face it pulls together as a gaping, jagged mouth and no eyes.
You thought I looked creepy before.
Prototype, what do you do?
I'm gonna look around and see. Okay, I'm going to first of all be a little distracted by growing skin. That's always interesting. And then also, can I just swivel my head in a 360 and see if there's any other doors? Maybe we went through the wrong door.
Looking around,
Gross, now you have, like,
can
the
reveal the inside of this building.
Yeah.
What's going on?
The skin
That
that
would be
attached,
easier.
the skin that grew on my neck just tore because I just did a whole 360.
It's like in
rip it.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Looking around, this main chamber looks like it has a stairway that does lead up to a second floor that was on the north side and is pretty destroyed. A door that leads to a southern wing of this building. There is more. That one looks to be more intact, but that's the only other door that you see.
It's probably that door. I'm gonna go down to that door.
You still carrying the woman?
Yes.
Hurry over. Again, carrying a person, sharing movement. You slowed one, so moving over, and then you're just gonna open it or you destroy it again. This is not locked.
I did open it. I don't know what you're talking
Regardless of how
about.
you do it, this one isn't locked. So you can just open it.
Okay, yeah.
And then you see a hallway that leads to this, flanked by a series of doors. It looks like single rooms, separated.
I
An
have
end then.
found.
Mystery solved.
I have found the jackpot, or I suppose the saying is.
And I'll stand there very confused.
No, you got it. Just go inside.
Real quick, I meant to ask this on my turn. When we heard the cavalry coming, Is it coming from the apparent army, or is it coming from like an opposite side?
It's going from the north, which is there's an army there. Like you guys seem pretty surrounded at this point, but there are arrows coming from that direction. They sound like they're a bit distant, but they're very rapidly approaching. Reginald, as you look, this skin continues to work into gnarled claw-like fingernails across Prototype's hands. Their head almost kind of elongating as their jaw drops down. It is a horrible visage.
Is there some sort of resemblance of the girl she's holding?
Not even a little bit, no.
Just checking.
That's
You thought Bryn was playing an automaton.
Yeah,
Wrong.
yeah. I'm going to for
Immediately
sure change my
promoted to
art.
human.
This is great.
I will run inside because I'm the only one outside, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I will run inside, drop the smoke. I don't know if dropping it is that an action or not.
Dismissing an effect usually is, yes.
Okay, and then I will bring out my crossbow.
All right.
Run and drop. So we're clear, right? Like there's everybody's outside. But
You're
we gotta
all
keep going.
inside, yes. There's soldiers approaching from
Yeah.
the east. But
They're
you're
still coming.
funneling through a doorway.
We need to
You-
go. Move quickly.
MD, as we come to you, you finally, thankfully, start to see cloth wrappings, clothing starting to emerge, just folding around the Prototype, a yellow garment wrapping around her.
Prototype, you need to let that woman go.
That's woman, frick!
You're making her into a nightmare.
What are you doing?
I'm summoning help. The Stella are active. I'm channeling what I can.
What are you summoning?
The help you're summoning tried to kill us. I'm gonna.
You heard him. We can't fight an army.
We can
This is too
run.
much.
No, we can try.
Run,
Hold me
where?
up. Hold me up.
We're surrounded.
Hold me up.
Hold you up.
Hold me up.
No.
We didn't come this far to reject a gift from the Yellow King. He
Well-
offers us salvation.
Where's that hallway lead?
To other doors. It is the jackpot, or the saying is.
Sure. We're going that way. We're not gonna try to fight an army.
Well, maybe Mario's
You
right. Maybe we
rush
should
into
wake
the
up.
southern wing and just start throwing open door after door. Two humble but perfectly fine inn rooms. Stepping through back and forth, even frustrated to reach, nothing appears to change. You're still here, door after door after door. Cammy, as these fibers, these cloths wrap almost like your own magic, like these fungal tendrils around Prototype's body. And they wind and wind and wrap, covering her limbs, her torso, even across these empty eyes on the top of her head. In the space of a few moments, the Tatterman is carrying this woman's body. What do you do?
Prototype, are you still in there?
Yes.
The voice emanates from the Tatterman, but the mouth does not move.
This is not the help that we need. Do you understand me?
Damn, I got a dope remake. I love this.
We don't.
What else would
Let's
you
put her in the intro.
suggest? What can we do? We have to finish this, ain't we?
I'm
What
sorry.
happened to you two?
I don't know you. Can I still see the army?
The soldiers are pressing towards the door. They're
Okay.
gonna be here on this initiative.
Okay. And like, is there an eye line basically? Like, would I be able to
You can see the doorway, yeah?
do something? Although I'm kind of thinking about waking up, like you were saying.
Yeah,
It's probably pretty easy to roll something higher than a 4.
Because I could hit him a lot.
What do you do? Around 6 seconds.
Fine. I'm gonna try and wake up.
Maybe you will save.
Wait. But I'm good. A 31.
31. You mash your eyes shut. The sounds don't go away. You hear the marching, the clashing of steel, the arrows thudding against the roof on the outside of the building. You see those silvery gray flames when you open your eyes. More shadowed arrows. The archers stop as the soldiers close in. You're still here.
No, I've got to wake up. I've only got one action left. I might as well try again. No, I can't think of another solution. So I'm going to use a hero point from this one I've gotten remade over from the transfer. I have new cards, so I don't remember who it's from, but thank you to chat for staying with us today. Anyway, I'm gonna, okay, no, that's not gonna make it. That's a 7 on the die. Oh my gosh.
The woman in the Tatterman's arms almost starts to sob. You see tears welling up. Just confusion, frustration, both overwhelming inside her. I can help. This time I can help you. I feel his power flowing through me. And she opens her eyes, and they are just flat, pale yellow. Light beaming out of them. The Tatterman takes a step, separating from the prototype, before disappearing entirely. And suddenly you just see him outside of the door, on the porch, razor in hand. The woman, stock still, and now just the prototype's arms, flicks her arm back and forth as you see the Tatterman lunge, just slashing his way through this entire brigade of soldiers like they're nothing. Their screams of agony, almost overwhelming. A voice comes from the Tatterman and the woman both. Two mixed together. Go! Go to the pier! Get to the tower! I can handle this! Marius.
I guess
Run.
Yeah, we gotta run. Is there an apparent back door? Anything we've seen? Any way to?
There is a door near the back of what looks like it was probably once a bar that just leads to storage, prep area, the kitchens, and beyond that, a door that does lead out the back of this building. You can make your way out to an amount of free space.
Gonna run that way, away from the army.
And you step out, not so much into an alley, but into an open area where you can see, pounding towards you, cavalry. Mounted in these saddles, knights wearing bladed armor, horned helms with 4 eye sockets, glaives at the ready as they charge down. And as they see some of you spilling out the back, the leader motions and the group pivots towards this building.
This side's not great either.
Where to, Marius?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm, gonna probably close the door and, think about my choices.
I'll go elsewhere.
Pray to any god's name that I can remember. And,
Back in, close the door.
No!
Prototype.
I'm going to glance down at the woman who now has white eyes.
I apologize. I will drop you now.
And I'm just going to drop her. That's what I was told to do.
You drop her, and she hits the ground, and that like arrow is still in her calf.
Jeez, dude.
And she just cries out in pain. And the Tatterman for a moment stops and staggers and just stands still, blade raised, frozen.
And then I'm actually kind of interested. So I'm going to try something as a new character over here. And I'm going to kind of mimic her eyes, although like I don't have eyes. But basically I momentarily shut off and shut back on, and turn back on. And I'm going to go into a daydream trance, which I kind of disassociate as a automaton. Great news for everybody around me. And I'm going to go a little bit into try and trigger a dream world. See whether we're not. I have a pretty interesting connection with the dream world.
You do.
Because that's generally what I was built to conduit for. And I'm going to try and see if it is, if we are still in, like if it's familiar or see any of that kind of nonsense.
As you reach out with this trance, and you kind of project yourself, your crystal links with the Dreamlands. This is not the Dreamlands. You did not travel through dimensions. You traveled through time. You're here.
Okay, so I'll like blink the lights kind of blink back on. It's not really in my eyes, but generally like in like life. We are not going to wake up.
What?
And then I
Good night.
What?
Yeah.
I love to hear it.
Very supporting role here, don't worry. And then I guess I will just swivel the head over. Any plans?
No, actually. What do you mean? We're not gonna wake up.
This is not a dream.
Great.
It was your dream.
Yeah, I had a dream when we were doing the rituals. It's the time. I just glare at Reginald. It's the time stuff that's happening.
Well, time stuff, but she knows who we are.
Yes, she knew who we were in our dream too. My
Well,
dream.
that was a dream. This
You hear a
is
voice
happening.
from the other side of this end. By the order of Paralector Trace Marvalio, surrender yourselves. This town is forfeit for its heresy.
Do I know that name? Anything throughout history or anything like that? Or books or...
You got the Hell Knight lore, or you want to throw me like a really high society?
High society.
Maybe.
Society is actually pretty high for me. That would be
not me.
34.
34, it's the name of a pretty high-ranking Hell Knight from several hundred years ago, but you don't remember why or like anything about him.
All right.
Time
Time seems to be somewhat folding on itself. There's different theories about this. I never dove totally into it, but we just need to keep running and find as many doors as possible.
Okay, that's fine. Let's
That's
go.
what can get us out of here. Yeah, it's her turn. Is it my turn yet?
It's sort of.
We got very sidetracked. This is Bryn's turn.
Correct.
We're kind of an RP.
You are kind of in here for the moment, and like there's a fight happening outside, and the cavalry have quite literally arrived.
Can I?
You have a moment of safety in this building. They haven't attempted to breach yet, with the Tatterman slaughtering his way through their ranks.
It's pretty nice of him, honestly.
Beautiful guy.
I don't know. I guess I will just hunker down in here until we have a better plan. Because I only have one action left, I think.
Well,
Reginald.
The lady said to go where? The docks or something?
tower.
No,
The
tower.
tower.
In the middle of town.
In the middle of town?
No,
Towers in the lake.
on the island.
Oh.
And where is that in relation to where we're
That
at?
would be south, out this door to the south. It's out on an island. You didn't find a boat or something.
Well, so if we went through this building and took a left, would that be kind of going through this building
Yeah, go
towards
in
the
the
right
right
direction?
direction,
All right, so let's try and head towards the tower as far as we can in this building, and then.
Great thing about cavalry running through the middle of a city or a town is they don't have a lot of maneuverability, especially if you're trying to stick a formation.
Right. So let's go inside, and so I will take off.
So to go out through where the northern wall has kind of collapsed, this place out the back of this building, and then take a left and head south.
Yeah, it'll be this way. Yes.
You can do that. You can make some distance. For the moment, it seems like you've got a bit of a free run. The knights have moved around and are.
So
you can't
far this-
really engage in this melee out in the courtyard of the town square, but they're watching.
I will have that, and then I will bring out my. Do I go twosies?
Sometimes you gotta go twosies, man.
I might as well, because an action to move. I want to let everybody catch up to me. So then I'll bring out both my.
Reginald, as you get out here, and you finally have an opportunity to sort of look at this, you look at this island of the tower, And you look at the coast. And you look back behind you. You don't recognize any of these buildings, but you recognize this land. This is Thrushmore. That's Briarstone Island. This is where you live.
I forgot to mention that part to him.
No, I figured.
Oh, he is smart.
Yeah.
The least weird thing that's happened to Reginald, honestly, since he joined the party. MD.
And we were running.
Okay, wait, hold on. Can you?
I hold my turn to be after Cammy.
Okay, because as we're running, I just want to noticing her kind of like stumble, and then the kind of copy of the Tatterman outside, likewise, in a similar rhythm, stumble. I don't want to leave her hanging here, especially if she's the only thing keeping them from getting to us. So, in a crazy turn of events, I would like to heal the Tatterman.
You want to heal the Tatterman?
I want to heal. I'm doing it on her, but I'm gonna try.
Heal
yeah,
her,
to
right.
try and keep up the vision.
You want to heal Ariadne?
I'm gonna shoot just as we're running through the door a 4th level heal at her.
He said Ariana. Do you know that name?
Yes.
Ariadne's the name
I'll
that
tell you.
MD got that last time. All right, let me heal.
Okay. It's gonna be.
What level is it?
It's a 4th level. 48.
Plus 32, right? 48 plus
Yes,
32.
plus 32.
Oh, D8?
Yes.
This one's special. Let's see what was on.
Thank you.
We like rolling dice here.
Nope, it rolled horrible.
Oh yeah, really bad.
We don't like rolling that die in particular.
So that's 10. So that's 19 plus the 32. 51. Well, we're on our way out the door.
You feel she is very resistant to positive. As you look back down at the arrow stuck through her calf, she's going to resist a lot of that. But she's going to take a lot of it, too.
Okay.
She's not 54 resistant to positive.
Okay.
But she is 20. So,
Oof.
she's going to get... She's going to get... She did not pass the fortitude save like you guys did. 10's a success.
Oh, yeah. As we're on our way, I was just like, I kind of feel that resistance, like, I'm sorry!
MD.
Team Cammy, MD's gonna get kind of in a low stance, and you're gonna hear him grunt out some words in Orcish as the tattoos kind of on his body glow a blood red. I'm gonna cast Warp Step, 2 actions, so I get plus 10 to my movement speed. I'm gonna move 40 feet twice.
He's gonna shoot out the back door
Yeah, we're running.
and down
I'm
towards
coming.
the shore. And here,
I'm
Cammy
coming.
is also coming.
Yeah, here we go.
This is why you're slow to one when you're carrying someone.
The soldiers outside are falling one after another to the Tatterman, who just seems to be everywhere at once. You hear combined screams of pain and terror as their formations are broken and their numbers are overwhelmed. Some of them flee. Some of them run for cover. Quite a few of them dash towards this building. Several soldiers burst in the door, bows or swords and shields in the hand, in a panic or in a, we'll call it a tactical retreat, we'll be generous, before they see the 3 of you that are still in here. Prototype, Ariadne, and Marius. And I need the 2 of you to make me reflex saves as they attack. It's a reflex save because it's not just a single attack roll, it is several men attacking you in unison. Dodging a lot of blades is a little harder than dodging a single blade.
Roll that.
38.
38?
Depends on who you ask.
Regular success. They'll take half.
30, why can't I math?
Success, so
Yeah.
Ranger things.
Yeah,
So it
critical.
depends on who you ask.
So you will take half. Just 10. It's dudes with swords. 10 points of slashing damage. Marius.
I was right next to the door, so I'm gonna keep on running away. As I'm running out the door, following the others toward the tower, You can see the ghoulish nature come out as I'm kind of running, leaping, kind of hopping over stones and walls a little bit as along the way. With trackless or unimpeded journey, I'm not affected by difficult terrain, so I'm running.
You're running. So you will make the furthest so far as you sprint down towards the bay here. Problem is you have to get to a tower that's on an island in the water. Fortunately, the soldiers at this point are distracted. More fortunately still, even to Thrushmore, even whatever version of Thrushmore this is, there are several jetties with small fishing boats attached to them. You approach one of these little docks. You hop in the boat, you start trying to untie it. What do you do?
If I've still got actions after all that, I think I'm just going to try to, shuffle things around to get the boat prepared to leave as soon as everybody is here.
Prototype.
So I am, okay, so as the energy in the crystal goes, as it's kind of, we are back into our own body a little bit more, it starts humming. The whole chest area hums a little bit. And I'm going to use Clockwork Celerity, I'm guessing is what it's called. I get an extra move this turn, so I'm going to move many times.
Prototype just shoots past everyone.
Ting, 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 ting. And I can fly. Not fly, but I'm rolling.
You can fly.
Rolling along.
Figuratively. As
Yes.
you just shoot down to this boat with Marius, I presume, is the direction that you're going.
Yes.
All three of your move actions get you there. Two of your
Four.
bonus move action get you there with a whole action left. So,
Oh, sweet, I can help.
Reginald.
Just trying to see
Oh,
where
is it
else I need to
unstable?
go.
It's unstable.
Oh, I have to make a roll
Oh.
for this. This is great.
Unstable.
It is unstable. I'm
It's
ready.
okay. Have you done unstable roll?
Okay. Don't worry, guys. This is awesome. Ooh, it's a terrible roll. Oh, this is awesome. Okay. So,
So it was like a failed project.
That's very true, though.
Let me remind you, this
I was
didn't
just starting
work.
to think she's working
Not
great.
failure,
Actually.
unstable.
You're so right.
There were 46 failures before this.
Yes.
There were 46.
Prototype 47.
Okay, so this is a critical failure. Just make sure everybody knows this.
A critical?
Yeah, on a critical failure, you also take an amount of fire damage equal to half your level.
She blows up.
Wait.
She's set on fire.
Do you have
Yeah.
to be
So,
careful?
as she starts,
Are you kidding
as
me?
she
This is
starts
awesome.
running, you
There's an
just see parts of her stone body pop and crack in flames. Yellow flames just kind of licking out.
Yep. It starts humming, and then there's just some loud popping noises, and you're like, oh no.
I'm watching.
It's what, it's your level fire damage or half your level?
Half your level.
So you take 6 fire damage.
Yep.
I'm watching over MD's shoulder, just cringing, just like, be careful, son!
She still gets the action though, so it doesn't take that away.
Yeah,
She
you still
can't
get.
do it. She can't do it again.
Yeah, you can't overturn your core again on account of it burst into flames.
This is awesome.
Reginald,
I
That's
will.
the scariest thing. You just
I will.
you, MD, and Cam, you're still in this lane behind the building.
Okay, well they can go fast, right? And then then I will then activate.
He can go fast.
Yeah, and he's carrying you, right?
Yeah, and I can ride.
So I will cast haste on myself, and that's 2 actions.
2 actions, but you get a bonus action, so it's functionally 1 if you're trying to run, and then you get, in the future it'll pay itself
Yeah,
back.
so basically I want to cast haste and then catch up with everybody, or get as close to catching
With
up.
the hasted running, you can get about 2 of the boat, which brings us to the Cammy and MD pair, who I'm going to assume are just running.
Can I somehow? I'm also running. I've got actions.
What are you doing with your actions, Cammy?
I'm just a white-knuckled grip around, like a koala.
The group of you all arrive at this little fishing boat. Fortunately, Prototype and Marius have gotten here fast enough with their movement
I'm
speed
still smoking.
to be able to get this untied and ready to jet off. So soon as MD, Cammy, and Reginald arrive, you can just hop on and shove off of the pier as a small dinghy starts moving. You hear one more time this call out from the building behind you. Breck! You have to make it! Both of you! And you're on the water. The battle still rages back behind you. Some troops turn their attention and arrows land in the water around you, some thudding into your boat, but with the cover of the fishing boat, there's plenty to protect yourselves with from mostly mundane arrows. In the distance, you see the long, tall arms of trebuchets. 3 up on a hill overlooking the town, hundreds of yards away. An answer to the fate of the building in which you've taken cover. Fires rage throughout the town. Buildings around the outskirts lit aflame. Soldiers and cavalry making their way through the streets. The army of Ustalav and the Hell Knights of the Order of the Pyre, together, fully cleansing Thrushmore. They start to organize ships of their own, trying to find small barges, small jetties they can use to pursue you out into the water. But an army does not move quickly, especially one in unfamiliar territory. And before they even got a boat launched properly, with a squad loaded, you've made shore on Briarstone Island. You're at the foot of a huge stone tower, extending maybe 4 stories up overhead. What looks like it should be a lighthouse, but with no flame at its peak. The island itself is much as you would all remember it, save for a different structure on its surface, and strange carvings in the ground. Whirling, branching lines, gouged from the earth, spiraling out in odd, errant directions from the base of the tower itself, where a single wooden gate stands against the bleak stone.
Just a little bit of an aside, but I don't think I ever thought about it. We're in Thrushmore now.
Yes.
Is this tower that has been so significant throughout the campaign the same island that the asylum was on?
Yes. The tower stands exactly where Briarstone Asylum does, as you know it.
Huh.
And the ends of these strange little whirling carvings in the ground each sport one of those small little stela.
So I was not now that we have a slight break. There are many smart people around here. There is a theory of like time being able to fold on itself. We don't know how much all of that stuff is true, or even if that's even what's happening, but
I don't think it really matters. Unless
it doesn't.
That's a way for us to get out of this.
But I would say we should use as many doors as possible, because that is what actually gets us out of this place, possibly. Or we're going deeper in. Oh gosh.
Or we just follow the vents that are supposed to fold out. I've had this dream. This is either a different time, a different reality, whatever it is, where we knew her, and we worked together with her for pretty much the same ritual we worked with Laos.
Is this the Vanished?
Probably. In my dream, Huglam and Martin were here too. At least she said their names.
But they're not.
She said she was the conduit.
Yeah, she's a conduit.
And this, you see a pillar of light. Pale yellow energy shooting up, piercing the sky from Iris Hill. Though there's no hill there now, but what looks to be a field amidst the buildings and the flames.
She told us to go to the Stella.
She could be dying back there. Then we should go to the Stella.
She is dying back there.
She has probably already died.
Let's go to the Stella.
Thanks.
Another logical person here. That's great.
Here on this island, in the relative safety of Briarstone Island, as the army starts to shove off with a few barges, You want to get back in your fishing boat and just
still
head
on the
towards them.
island.
Oh, the beam is from the shore.
I'm talking about the Stella on the island.
You head over to the Stella on the island. The one nearest you visible was a small little gray stone. But as that pillar shot up, runes ignited across its surface. As you spread and look at the other two, they look like they were already lit. Runes engraved upon their surface you recognize from Thrushmore, but still don't understand their meaning, on every face of this stone. If they're doing anything, it's not apparent.
Well then, there's the door on the tower. There's a door to the tower, right?
There's a door to the tower.
I'm gonna start walking towards the door on the tower. Let's go inside.
Okay.
When they land, I'd rather be inside the building than outside the building.
MD heaves open the heavy wooden door at the base of the tower and steps forward into near darkness. The moon outside providing pale illumination to the battlefield, but near nothing inside the actual tower itself. You see the black and white outline of the stone room inside with your dark vision. But as you step in, you stumble a little, almost falling forward. This warm, flickering lamplight flares up around you. The rest of you fare much the same. Stepping through a doorway, almost feeling yourself shunted into a narrower space, pushed into each other as you stumble and bumble and nearly fall. Where you look around and find yourself in another wooden hallway. Plain carpet across the floor, lamps along the walls, and a woman in very simple garb in front of you. Oh God, are you okay? I apologize, must have had a fair bit to drink, I take it. And then she turns around and just starts walking.
What?
I'm sorry?
Wait, what? Where are we?
Well, this is a hallway, but we prefer you didn't stay here. It's just around the corner.
What town are we in?
We sure have had a fair bit to drink.
A lot.
Me doesn't typically hit people that strong, but so if not known, I suppose.
I'm a lightweight.
You don't look it. This is Cassomir. I'm showing you to your rooms.
That's perfect.
What year is it?
She would say the same date as the date that you had arrived.
Never gone through a door again.
Actually, I don't really want to go into any of the rooms. Can we?
Hold on. We could just go to a wall and I'll use my.
That's a door.
That's a door.
I know,
Right.
but I doubt I'm controlling it.
Just show us the way, please.
I-
It's been a very, very.
I don't mean to pry, and it's not my business. And she just continues along, leads you around a corner to a fairly plain but well-made wooden door. Opens it up and steps inside to show you a room with a pair of beds, a very simple little kitchen set in the back wall next to a window, and a basin for bathing. Well, it'll be this one and the one just there on the other side. And if you need anything, of course, we're always available. We pride ourselves on service, so thank you for your patronage. And
Thank you.
I imagine you've probably had enough to drink, but...
Give her a tip.
Hat off and just a little bow.
Silver piece, that's a good tip.
One platinum bar now.
Enjoy your evenings.
She quits her job. Yeah.
She does.
She just kind of, customer service smile, sort of.
Thank you for your thank you for everything. Yeah.
Of course. And truly, if you need any evening or nighttime meals, our kitchens are always ready.
Perfect.
Well, leave you to it. And leaves the group of you there in the back room of
I'm in the mood for
some
soup
inn.
all of a sudden.
Just 2 weeks. I just want 2 weeks where nothing weird happens.
Nausea is probably.
You're all here in the
normal.
hallway, in front of the door, still open. The room room she just showed.
No, don't.
Walk in.
Don't do that.
And you go- and you
No,
just
don't do
walk
that.
in.
No.
Cammy grabs onto you, and you just walk anyway, like a toddler climbing
No.
around. You're like,
No. You gotta check it first.
Yeah, can you just like put your hand in and wave it around?
And you step into your room in the inn. It seems fairly nice. This is no rundown hostel. It is a fairly pleasant inn that you have no memory of owning.
And what year is it now?
To be cautious, I just make my own doors.
When you look behind you, you see the hall you had just come from. And when you look down at your bags, you find yourselves, each of you, carrying quite a few items you don't really remember buying. Shopping episode, skipped.
Shopping episode.
Nice.
Yeah, what's great is I actually.
So impressed.
Here you go. Here's everything we got for Reginald.
I need a
Oh.
There's that. You also have 6 elixirs of life. I didn't make a card for those.
You're the best.
I told them for the purposes of saving us a lot of time, the sum of money they were going to receive so they could plan out what they wanted to do with it.
And a ring and a scarf. All of mine are like. Ever play Pretty Pretty Princess? Like with like a cousin or something.
Thus ends the first episode of Chapter 4. The title, may I remind you, The Whisper Out of Time.
Oh, that makes sense now.
That felt more like a shout.
No, the whisper wake up. The wake up is the whisper out of time. Yeah.
So Albert Einstein's theory, does he exist? So the idea of time folding? I'm gonna stick with
Aeons
Einstein is canon in
is
Pathfinder.
so back,
Dude,
baby.
that's so great.
So back.
You know, you'd think after you got all your memories back, you'd stop meeting NPCs that remember you and you don't remember them.
You know what I call this episode? Did you look at the thumbnail?
No.
I don't know where I am. That's gonna be it for us today, everybody. If you enjoyed the show, if you want more Pathfinder, RPG, and tabletop content, give us a follow. We appreciate it. It's the easiest and most effective way to help support the channel, but we've also got a bunch of cool partners down there too. You can check out discount code UGT Show. Works on all of them to get you something nice and help give us a little bit too. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the UGT Show right now. Aeons is back. Secrets Between the Stars is back. We're going to war with hammers, 40,000 of them.
I like that.
I see what you did there.
We're going to try to elect the president of space.
I think in the video there's just a Tyranid.
There's just a Tyranid, yeah. I think a Tyranid should be the president of space, personally.
Sargon.
If I was going to elect the president
vote.
of space, I could go vote. I could go vote. And so could all of you. In our Discord server, polls are open right now for the president of space. And your choice will shape how we start our Warhammer series.
What other streamers are afraid to do, which is elect a president for space.
And what's great about electing a president for space, you don't have to be registered to vote.
You don't, because we're all in some subset of space. You can't not be.
Can we submit write-in candidates?
I think there's like a poll. I don't know if there's a poll in the Discord. I don't believe it has a write-in
Do you have
field.
to be older than
Could be
Earth
wrong.
Year 18 though?
No.
No, that's
okay.
the cool part. There's literally no regulations on voting for the president of space.
The only regulation is you have to be in the Discord.
You have to be in the Discord.
You have.
And that's where all the cool people are anyway. Like us.
That's where we're at.
We're the cool
And Bryn.
people.
Hey, Marcus.
But thanks for joining us, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. We'll be back next week. Stay safe. Stay safe.